chocolate is
scrunches when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
chocolate.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the first episode of The Outcast with your guest, CheetoHead.
Hello.
Today we're gonna be talking about Outlast, about whether it can be adapted into a film, the original the original games, and the third on the way, and the future of the series. Really, I've done research, and it was one of the first video games that you played, right, on your channel.
Oh yeah, it was one of my first horror games, and it's super fun.
It was, yeah. I've played it. It's really, really good. So, with the first one, what was your thoughts with the first game, really?
I thought the first one was amazing. It had a really great story. The gameplay was tight, and it's just super memorable, especially with all the I guess characters that you had to face, like Father Martin and that big muscly dude with the dump truck that would always chase you around.
Oh yeah, Chris Walker. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really well done. I feel like there should have been maybe some more characters and bosses you could have faced. It felt very short and contained. However, I think they massively overcompensated with the second. But for a self-contained game, it was really well done. I think I loved the story as well.
Oh yeah. I almost forgot they had a second game.
Yeah, they have a game and then a third.
The second game was very vague in its story. I remember playing the I guess the beta or a little teaser of it, and I thought it was really amazing, gruesome. That you had that witch person axe you right in the crotch.
Yeah, it was really, really well done. You could tell that they saw the first one's success and kind of came up with the second game. And I like how it was kind of disconnected. So it's not just we're capitalizing on the first, but it was kind of connected loosely. I think if you read the comics, I think you have to read the comics to understand how it's connected and everything like that. But yeah, did you read the comics or?
I did not. The second game kind of really lost me. There was some story about, wasn't it a story about some brother or something? Some
Yes.
sister.
So basically, it was a cult out in the middle of nowhere, and you had this entire town sacrificing their children to kind of rid the world of the Antichrist. And the way it kind of connected it was weird. So in the comics, that factory they were going to was a staging grounds for the company that I think it's Murkoff, isn't it Murkoff or something like that? They kind of had the staging grounds. That's where they were doing it. And they were testing out this machine induce very vivid hallucinations. That's it. So it's every single time there was a flash, they'd usually in the game, do you know what I mean? They'd usually a biblical thing would happen, birds would fall from the sky, or rivers would turn blood, or it would rain blood, or the character would be transported back to his youth. That was kind of the side. That was kind of the hallucination side of it. So there was no end of the world. It was just that's what the people were seeing. With the visions, and that obviously led to the cult, and so it was kind of an enclosed experiment to kind of test the effects of that machine, and so the ending really, it's kind of left ambiguous. But I think with that, I think it was he found the truth, or he blacked out, and obviously that was the end of it. But maybe an answer in 4, or maybe it'll just be left very ambiguous, and we flash back to the experimentation back in World War II. I think it was around that era, or the Cold War. So
That'd be nice. Yeah.
yeah, it was very weirdly connected, but I like that because it kind of it felt like they wanted to create a game that was obviously more ambitious than the last and just scary for the sake of being scary instead of like building upon it. I think the third game I'm looking forward to. I don't think there's a release date actually, is there?
Not that I know of. Isn't it called? It's not called Outlast 3, is it? It's called something else.
Trials, Outlast Trials.
Yeah, the Trials.
Yeah, I think it might be in production hell, which isn't good. Do you know what I mean? Especially considering like the fan base is dwindling as it is. Like I think it's more of a FNAF security breach situation where the fan base is kind of sat patiently, just being like, when is it coming out? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I got a better comparison. They're like the Dead Island 2 fans, just waiting.
They had to wait like almost a decade.
Yeah.
That situation was wild though, with like them having to wait 10 years because the partnership kind of fell apart. But it looks really good though.
Oh yeah, and now it's confirmed to come out soon.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. They had to wait like 10 years for that, but it does look really really good. I'm just a bit cautious because I know that like you wait so long for something and then it could be really crap. Like again, security breach.
Yeah.
Like we waited a long time for that. Then when it came out, it was like you could tell they spent all the money on the map and then went, oh god, yeah, we have to create like a story and AI and animatronics and stuff, and they just loosely threw together like, do you know what I mean, the story and the direction of it. Because I feel like we were given too much free roaming, which there's nothing wrong with that, I guess. But like, I would have liked to have been an Outlast 1 situation where you get to explore the asylum, but it's kind of restricted to where you can go, and you have to progress and obviously jump up and go through vents and stuff like that to get to the next area where you need to go. It can't be directionless, but
yeah. I did lose myself a couple times in the beginning with the whole village and all the like corn or mazes or something.
Yeah, I think that like that's the one thing again that I'd say for 2 again is like they didn't have that direction of 1. 1 was kind of like a haunted house, you know, where you enter on one end, you go through it, you go through and you have this illusion of free roam, and then you come out the other end and, do you know what I mean, and be like, oh my god, that was so good. But really, you weren't allowed to go anywhere.
Oh yeah.
I think for 2, I think it is very large in scope, but I think that it could have been restricted to tell you where you needed to go. Like, because I agree, in 2 I was lost a lot. Like, I was like, oh yeah, this is the way you need to go, and it's like, oh. But it was scary.
Yeah. It
was scary. Don't get me wrong. Like the whole religious kind of side of it was played up a lot, and that was kind of scary. But I await Far Cry. Not Far Cry. I await the Outlast Trials because that looks fun. I think it.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a co-op, isn't it? Weren't they saying it was a co-op?
Yeah, I've heard some things that it's probably going to be a co-op, maybe up to 4-player. That would be fun.
In terms of the story, though, of the original, like, what would you change, or is there anything you would change?
Well, I think what I would change probably was have 2 slightly more connected, because there was this sort of like, I had the feeling that I was playing in like an entirely different game with the Outlast mechanics just slapped on it. If they would have connected it somehow to the events of 1, maybe it was like a prequel about the asylum or something. Maybe there were some sort of characters that were named in the files. I probably would have been able to connect with it more, because I do feel like it strayed very far from the last one. So it's still all right, but they could have, connected the dots a bit, because in the first game, I haven't played the DLC for it, but I know in the first game you turn into that like nanobot creature that takes over you, and you start murdering all those like officers and stuff. Yeah. And then he just leaves you for dead.
I agree. I think that like the second one, the first one I think was really good. I feel like they could have had more bosses or maybe more. Do you know what I mean? It could have been longer, more not drawn out, but more kind of lore filled in there for maybe. Do you know what I mean? To understand the monster more. The second one, I agree. I don't think you should be forced to read comic books as the game comes out to kind of really reveal like the connection. There should just be an automatic connection of that. But I think they should have put more emphasis on of like that like people are experiencing visions. Do you know what I mean? Like they could have gone like, people are experiencing visions. There's this weird light that's coming from this factory up here that's been owned by Murkoff, the company from the first game, and then they could have gone into like the history about that and gone, oh yeah, that was a massive scandal, that like with what happened.
Yeah, even one of the visions could have been of like the first game, like as a little just nod to it.
Yeah, I feel like they could have connected it more, do you know what I mean? But I feel like that kind of disconnection and the fact that you had to really read deep into the comic books is, yeah, I don't think they should have done that. It was kind of weird because people expected them to obviously go into the story. But I did like that it was bigger, there was longer, there was more people in terms of game size. But I think again, like they should have connected it more. But I like how in the third one, the course correcting and kind of doing it so that like the it's a horror game like trial kind of co-op with 4 people.
Yeah.
But again, like it'd be really interesting to see the story there as well. If there is a story, or if it's like a Dead by Daylight type game, because like that'd be interesting. Like with one of them being the killer, or one of them being like, it's like a death run with Dead by Daylight, where one of them activates the traps and tries to kill as many survivors as possible, and then like the survivors like have to make it to the end, or if there's an actual story there that the 4 players can kind of discover on the way. It would be interesting if it was storyless, or if there was kind of a small like a hint of what it was like. But for a fourth, what would you say for a fourth game you'd want actually?
For a fourth game, well, depends on how the trials go. If the trials have some sort of story, I'd probably want it to kind of base it off that. But if it's more storyless, I probably want 4 to kind of go after the events of 1. Maybe we're following like someone else and they're like trying to track down that nanobot creature. Maybe something like that. But I just want them to kind of bring it back around to 1, or maybe even do it to where you're covering the aftermath of 2, you know, because I think he shut down the machine, didn't he? Or did he just black out?
Oh, he blacked out, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe he could try to follow up on that. Maybe the machine shut down, maybe not. Yeah. Why
they created the machine in the first place. I think it was that they wanted to sell it to governments for warfare, to kind of induce these mass hallucinations on. Do you know what I mean? Like on the enemy. But it would be really cool to kind of see what happened with that machine, or if it's brought back full circle to the main story. They wanted to kind of. So the first one they wanted to create super soldiers, and the second one they wanted to create that, and it would be cool if kind of have that connection, and obviously why they were connected rather than just 2 separate projects in the Murkoff Corporation. Because I feel like in the first one it was really cool that they were trying to make super soldiers and were experimenting on the inhabitants of the asylum. I think that's really cool. Like that was a really, really cool idea for a horror kind of game. And then you have to go and investigate. And then the second one was really cool with the induced hallucination. I feel like it was again just very. I don't think there was a connection outright. I think you kind of just had to deduce that by research, and I don't think they should have done that. But I think maybe the third game they focus on like. On like the new brain chips that Elon Musk has kind of come out with.
Yeah.
It could be like that situation where they're experimenting maybe in another asylum with the brain chips, and like you have one in your head that's because they've released it to the public, and you have one in your head, and then there's like this entity that like the black entity kind of hacks into them and kind of makes you hallucinate and stuff like that, and there's like periods of the game where you just hallucinate, kind of like the second one, and that obviously you get scared in that sense, and then you kind of yourself are asking, wait, is this real or is this hallucination? Do you know what I mean? Like there's no distinction, and you as the kind of player are kind of in this constant game of, wait, is this actually like a real thing, or is this just another hallucination by the entity?
That or they could probably do maybe like a prequel story to the first one, like tell the story of that dude who was, trapped with the nanobot creature.
Yeah.
They could do a story about that.
Maybe like he, I doubt it, but maybe like he survives and stuff like that, and then obviously like goes after it. I highly doubt that though, because in the end we do see him get shot multiple times in the chest, so it's like you're telling me those didn't go straight through the heart, and it's like, usually don't survive from that. But
God, poor guy too, got all of his fingers chopped off.
Oh, Wayland,
and just gets shot up. That scene was awful. I loved that.
Yeah, it was a really good end to that game. But like, I know you didn't play the DLC, but like Waylon Jones, I would have liked to see his story come into all this as well. Do you know what I mean? Like it go full circle. I don't think he would go back to the corporation, but I think I would have liked to have seen like more projects that maybe he worked on while he was there, or maybe like. Or maybe he becomes a reporter and obviously is assigned to investigate them, or tries to kind of expose them for for more of these heinous crimes that they're doing, that they're getting away with because they're just a corporation. So I mean that could be interesting. There's a lot of loose ends they can play with, and I think that it would be really cool for like a fourth game. But in terms of story though, do you know about Chris Walker's backstory, or?
Yeah, I think I remember reading the file.
So do you know like how he became, or how he entered the asylum, or like who he was before he was in the asylum, or?
Well, I know he was like a soldier. I think he was suffering from something. Or maybe he wanted to do like a super soldier thing. I am not too sure. It's been a bit, but I just know it was something around there.
It was a weird one. I think he was delusional as well as like something else. Like he said, I can't remember, but I remember like he got into like, he was obsessed with lizards as well, and had like the third eye, and so this cut on like his forehead, that you see.
Yeah.
That apparently is like his attempt at a third eye of where that would be, which is like really weird. But he murdered a few people in the city, and then apparently again this comic books, apparently when investigators were in his house, he had this like little baby pig that he had when he was a child, and they touched and grabbed it, and he came home, saw that they'd grabbed it, and he'd literally killed them.
Yeah.
And obviously, he got arrested and put in the asylum. But that's fun fact, why he constantly says, "Where's my little baby pig?"
Yeah.
Which is
I always wondered that. Yeah, he very much looks like a pig.
But yeah, like that's why he calls us this little baby pig, because obviously he's trying to find his toy, because he's kind of reverted back to that childhood state. Like he's basically a child in a grown man's body, like a child's mind in a grown man's body, which is scary, really. Probably because of the trauma of what happened in the war. But I mean, it leaves his ending really sad, because like obviously he never got his baby pig or anything like that, and obviously got completely owned by this like nanoparticle monster, and just to war, and then got completely like incinerated by like an AC like vent.
I was so happy to see that.
I was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, holy shit, he's kicking his ass, and then he just just like grinded him up, and I was like, well, that's the end of that. And I was like, bye, Chris.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of backstory into some of the characters as well. I think with North as well, I think he was one of the first ever test subjects, and obviously he put those he put all of those into the book, and then got like the town to become part of his cult after they saw it as well. I mean that story there like was really interesting, especially with the two cults that are fighting. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously another side of the town was like, oh no, I saw something completely different.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it was interesting, but I definitely want to learn more about the corporation, the Wayland Corporation. One of the Wayland Corporation, I'm trying to think of, that corporation that did all what they did. I'm not great with. Did you read any of the comic books or?
No, I never got around to that.
They're really well done. I think a few are free online as well. But oh yeah, did you know about like the thing they ran for the second game? This like Kickstarter project they ran.
I think so. Yeah.
They like had it was like a diaper, so you could like go say if you did urinate yourself. Like you're protected. It was really weird. They wanted like a couple million for it to be sold alongside the game, but they never got it, so it was just kind of, they only have like a prototype. But that was a weird promotional thing they did.
Yeah, that definitely sounds pretty weird.
It was a black like adult diaper with like the logo on the front, and apparently it basically you could urinate in it, and I don't know what the tech was behind it. Hold on. Outlast 2 diaper Kickstarter. Under Scares, that's it. With a companion diaper Under Scares. There's a middle morph, a stretch waistband, a ray rash support, a hip lock thigh, so it was basically designed for comfort in mind. A midnight brownout abrasion resistant fabric. He was really weird. Hold on.
Yeah, I definitely need to see this.
Hello, I'm Alison Wilkes, Head of Market Research at Red Barrels, creators of the upcoming survival horror game Outlast 2. The launch of our demo has created its fair share of reactions, and we've witnessed, while analyzing social media data, a very disturbing trend. Ali K wrote, yeah, I just finished the demo, need to change my pants. Thanks, Red Barrels. Millen Mitchell wrote, owned the first, played it for 15 minutes, shit myself, and never went back on. Good game. Gal Zoltan wrote, hide your kids, hide your wife, get your diapers, get your headphones, it's coming. And it goes on and on and on.
When mammals are confronted with a severe threat to their survival, the adrenal medulla produces a hormonal cascade that results in high blood pressure, elevated heartbeat, and in cases of extreme fear, sudden voiding of the bowels.
So we found a way to release Outlast 2 without you worrying about the release of number 2. Introducing our Kickstarter project, Under Scares Outlast 2 Diapers. Oh yeah, they're real. We put Under Scares through rigorous beta testing. Until we reached the pinnacle of diaper technology. So now you can play in a state of abject terror and total comfort. And there's even a limited edition with a wearable nightlight. This is a real product. View the Under Scares Kickstarter page to fund the project, get your diaper, and Outlast 2 Steam key. And a sincere thank you from the bottom of our bottoms to those of you who support this project.
I'm totally cool.
Because you're scared, number 2 can become a problem number 1. Beginning at $55 Canadian dollars or £33 or $41. This sounds pricey, but it will obviously include a Steam key, or you can buy the patents. Sorry, they've put patent out. Patents for £6 or $7 and make your own Under Scare. Under Scares are 100% real. Physical product, and there is not actually crowdfunding campaign for Outlast 2, which it claims has already had a successful funded purely through sales of the first Outlast and Whistleblower DLC. So I don't know if this was actually successful, but That was a weird campaign they did.
I doubt it, but it is pretty funny.
I wonder what they're gonna do for like the trial Outlast one. Do you reckon they'll do the same thing or?
I doubt they would, but it definitely would be interesting.
Definitely would be, because I think that like in terms of Kickstarters as well, like the fact they didn't do it for 2 was really really good, because I seen like ones like I think FNAF had a Kickstarter at one point, which I mean that literally nobody pledged, so we took it down. It's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, some successful products did, I think, do that, but I don't know if did the first one ever get crowdfunded? No, I don't think they did. There's nothing. There's only about the underscares. Which was weird.
Yeah.
They did it off their own back. But I mean I think that Outlast was the first game. I think as well. I think because there were like developers at other companies. So I mean, I wonder what other games they could work on, or if this is the only one. It's a Canadian video game developer based in Montreal. It was founded by Philippe Marine, David Schaffner, and Hugo Dallaire in 2011. So yeah, this was like one of the first games that they ever.
Yeah, pretty good job on it.
This for Outlast Trials. They said the Outlast Trials is an upcoming first-person psychological horror video game. Is the third installment in Outlast, serving as a prequel to the first 2 games, and then features test subjects in a mysterious Cold War experiment. So it's coming out this year apparently.
Yeah, that would definitely be nice.
They said in August that the game was delayed to 2022 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But we haven't seen anything, so it might be 2023. And it adds multiplayer to the horror mix. Set in mid-Cold War, you play as a human guinea pig recruited to test methods of brainwashing and mind control. You will try to survive deeply unethical experiments alone, up to 3 partners. Yeah, it is. It's a co-op, but it's supposed to be coming out this year. But I mean, after that, I think they definitely should expand more into the future, because there's not a lot that they can do in terms of the past, unless again they introduce stuff for before Trials even. Like this wasn't the first Trials, and they did it back in World War II. And they got like the experiments from World War II and wanted to recreate it. The Russians, I mean, like they tried to do that, but yeah, I think that could be interesting. But it's really weird that they tried to do the underscares though. That was kind of a weird campaign. I mean, it worked because a lot of people at the time were talking about it, right?
Oh yeah.
In terms of like with the first kind of series that you did on Outlast, when did you find success with that, or when did you think, I should definitely keep making more videos with this?
For me, I enjoyed it for like the first couple of times, but my issue is that I'm not really good solo commentary. So as it went and we got more into like some backtracking and stuff, I noticed like views definitely like dipped after the first.
Yeah.
And so I think after I had gotten into the elevator, like went into the very underground part, the episode 6 was it? Yeah, after that I just kind of like quit it, because I noticed that I do better with, friend type content. So I completely cut out all the solo stuff and turned to make, group stuff.
Are you gonna?
Because those are way more successful.
Do you reckon you would revisit Trials at least with friends and kind of get back into it with that?
Yeah, I might do that, especially if it's like a 4-player multiplayer, or I would probably stream it. Definitely.
Did you think about like streaming the game, or did you just do Let's Plays of it?
I only did Let's Plays, but I am planning on streaming some of it sometime, because I just think that'd be fun. Yeah,
especially like during Halloween or anything like that. But are you gonna play like? Have you played 2 on the channel?
Not on the channel, no. I played it in my spare time.
Do you reckon you'd revisit that for like Halloween?
Yeah, maybe. I've considered it.
Yeah, it is a good game. I think I saw Fiznon play it as well, and he even said it was a really good game. but it was just really weird and very scary. But speaking of which, Fiznom, if you're watching, unblock me on Twitter, please. I still have no idea why he did that, by the way. I literally have no idea.
Who did?
Fiznom, Phil Morg, the guy that's creating FNAF Plus.
Weird.
Weird though. Like, I even asked him on my all. I was like, "Hey yo, you blocked me. Why?" And then he just blocked me again, and I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I guess he just doesn't like me."
Twitter people be weird.
He's very like weird with that block button. He's very, very weird. I'd guess like, because like he's done it to other creators in the past that have been really bad, like Theft King. So I'm like, am I on the same level as Theft King? Because it's just weird in general. Because I've never been really annoying. I've kind of always supported him and asked stuff like that. But I don't know, like, because I'm trying to think of any other people he's blocked that's not been controversial. But no, I know he blocked me, and then I think it was the Legend Source. So yeah, he did a series on it. That was good, but I definitely can't wait for more series in the future. But in terms of horror games, would you do? You could, or do you reckon you'd do it with friends or?
Oh yeah, especially if it's multiplayer. I think that'd be fun. Kind of like a Phasmophobia type deal. Just get a bunch of people on to play.
I think that it's definitely the future of horror as well, because it's good to experience alone, but it's also good to experience in a group, because you know what I mean. Like there's that panic of having to deal with multiple people and making sure everyone's alive, as well as like the horror of the unknown.
Yeah, I definitely like the emergence of more multiplayer horror, because I know one of the first I can think of is Gary's Mod. They had like horror maps that multiple people could be on. There would be like jump scares, everyone would freak out, and it's just way better to experience that kind of stuff together sometimes.
Yeah, and funny as well. Like even the Vanoss videos where he does the Gmod maps, and even the back rooms, and even Phasmophobia. It's funny to have it as a group and just see the reactions and just laugh and just, you know what I mean? It's good for content as well.
Yeah, that's why I focused on friend stuff. You could say he's my biggest inspiration. You know, imitation is the biggest form of flattery, but I mean, I enjoy the funny moments with the friends style of videos, so that's what I do.
Yeah. I mean, even recently with his edgier style of humor with his friends, I kind of like that, because it seems more genuine. Like, I know most people, when they've kind of had their moment in the spotlight, try and recapture it and try and be like, "Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be family as friendly as possible to try and recapture the kids." Whereas now, like, they're just like, "Yeah, we don't really care. We're just going to make whatever jokes we want to. We've had our time in the sun. We're just going to, you know, we're just going to...
Yeah.
We're just gonna make our friends say like the N-word and like and you know anti-Semitic jokes and stuff, and it's funny. And I think they've nobody's tried to cancel them yet, which I'm like really surprised. I'm like, man, in this like landscape where one wrong word or one wrong like thing said especially in like live streams or in like recordings, do you know what I mean? Like they come after you, the mob, and it's like,
Well, yeah.
It's like,
The group's really diverse, though, and I think the people who are making the jokes they could get canceled over are allowed to make it. Like, I think Vanoss made a joke about getting a rice hat in the golf game, and he like called himself like a slur.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's like, "Thanks for creating the coronavirus. He's something something." I forgot what it was, but I know it was some Asian slur.
Oh, it's so good. I love it.
And it was just out of nowhere hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
And of course you have basically I Do Work, who like clears all the like black jokes.
Yeah, because he's like, it's okay, it's fine. I clear it. Black stamp of approval. And then
Scotty, I fucking love those.
Yeah, Scotty as well. I think he's Jewish, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then so Scotty's Jewish, Vanoss is Asian. You have basically I Do Work, who is African American. You have a Droid, who's Mexican as well.
Yeah.
They have a very diverse group of people, so they can get away with that. I never really thought of that before.
Yeah, they can pretty much get away with anything, really.
Because I even think as well, like, when they were trying to defend it, like, you know what, Vanoss is Asian. He even like tempted the cancel culture by going, no, I'm just a white man and I'm racist. He's like, no. Yeah, like I'm even though like they're a diverse group of people, I'm surprised. I think the closest they've ever got to like cancellation is Terrorizer when he tweeted a joke about the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp thing.
Oh yeah.
Like as the verdict got read, and apparently according to him, like Lene, his girlfriend, said it, who's Asian, and said, "Oh, there's only OnlyFans," so he laughed and tweeted it, and then got a load of like hate as response.
Yeah, there was
laughed at it in the video. Was just like,
yeah, there was a huge mob after him after that.
I love to see it though, because it was like. It was just like him telling the story as well of like, but I didn't even make the joke, my wife did. Lene is it his girlfriend or his wife, or?
I think it's his wife.
His wife made the joke, he didn't even make the joke.
Yeah.
And then like, I think like as he was getting cancelled, he scheduled the tweet before all the hate. There was like, for the day of like when he got his money of like, I got a jar of money, and that did not help. That did not help at all. So apparently I said I scheduled it, then when it came out and I saw all the hate, I went, oh no. That was just like
Dude, the best thing to come out of that situation was the Gary's Mod video.
Yeah.
That shit was golden.
They definitely need to make more videos like that. It was honestly so hilarious, the skits and like the scripted stuff.
Yeah, I didn't realize how fucking intricate it was, and I found out for a lot of his Gary's Mod stuff, especially I think it was hide and seek, you know, where they like turn into different things whenever they get caught.
Yeah.
Like I think recently they had a Dragon Ball one. Times before, if you were caught, you became a bird or a car, or you cartwheeled. I tried to find out how to do that. Apparently, they commissioned someone to make a specific mod just for them on Gary's Mod.
They commission like mods a lot. Like I think even in that video, like when they did spin the bottle when the scripted stuff was done, apparently that was another commissioned mod. They commissioned it so that it just locks onto Terrorizer.
Yeah.
And he was like,
then I looked up the code. I think it was in one of his Harry Potter themed ones. Mm-hmm. And I saw like a little clip of them in the console typing commands, and I tried it, and yeah, it was definitely custom.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think like even with the maps, with when they have the custom maps as well. Apparently, again, the map editors always do that with Terrorizer.
Oh yeah, putting him in like a tiny box for his, coffin in a Halloween map,
and then just like a really shitty surfboard on like the holiday maps.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those when they mess with Terrorizer. It's so good.
I hope to one day get the status enough to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's an investment, and I mean it works out for them as well in terms of views. They just like juice, and obviously they probably get their investment back. But, I mean, definitely look into it for the future.
The only issue is that with my group of friends, they're very chaotic, especially one specific person, the yellow one of our group, Zeb. He can get unhinged real quick.
If you could compare him to any Vanoss character or a Vanoss crew member, who would it be?
He would be, I guess he would be Terrorizer if he were like a foolhardy drunk.
Terrorizer drunk is one of the best. Did you? I think the video's deleted now, but did you see the one with Dahi Denogla? What happens before they record?
Yeah.
That was one of the best videos, and he deleted. I was like, bro, keep it up. I definitely want to see more of those, like where it's just randomly chaotic as they're trying to set everything up.
Yeah.
When he sounded like a leprechaun. Yeah. Count Godzilla wakes up from his coffin. It's just hilarious. A fortnight. Oh, it's just randomly chaotic, and it was great. But I think they do like the podcast episodes with what's it called? Like Oh, the one where you have like the power wash simulator. That's it. And those ones are good. Those ones are good. Those ones are like perfectly chaotic as well. Like when they draw stuff.
Yeah.
And just chat.
Those are surprisingly fun to watch.
Yeah, even though it's like them just doing menial tasks, it's very fun to kind of see the conversations that seep out of it.
Yeah.
Because you kind of rely on the game as well, and I think as well, like I know I can kind of tell that Vanoss enjoys it because I think Nogler as well was saying like in one of his responses, like when people, like, I think there was a compilation that came out of all the times of Vanoss had been like, I want to fucking kill myself and shit like that. And people were genuinely serious, and I think he left a comment saying, oh yeah, he's like that in video games when he gets bored. He just like gets bored and then just starts joking about saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that.
Yeah. But you can genuinely tell he's having fun. Otherwise, the entire time he'd be like, man, I just want to die.
Yeah, he'll just do like a complete 180 and do like extreme edgy jokes if he's bored.
Yeah. I mean, like it's taking a toll on the content though, because apparently like the game demonetized. A lot of the videos are being demonetized.
Yeah. And
I think Nogler's channel at one point, like, it was permanently demonetized, and so then he had to contact Susan and be like, hey, can you stop?
Yeah, and then
so they had to...
Vanoss made Terrorizer lose a sponsor.
What was the story behind that? Because like, was dead confused.
I think he was trying to do like a sponsored thing, and Vanoss was just like way too edgy, and they saw it and they just canceled the sponsored deal with him. But I think it was something like, some crappy game or something, because he mentioned that he didn't feel bad about losing it, but yeah.
I think didn't he cause him to lose an Epic sponsor once?
Yeah, I think that's the one it was.
Epic Game. Oh yeah, it was an Epic Games like crappy mobile sponsor thing. They have a lot of sponsored content now, which is good. I mean, because they can get around the demonetization through sponsors. Like, I think every video that I've watched so far has been sponsored, so... I mean, they can always get around that with sponsors.
Yeah, because I have noticed he plays, like, really sometimes obscure games.
Yeah.
Like, what was it recently? Graveway High? Escaping the Evil Science Teacher? Like, I've never heard of that. Crossfire.
Try to see, let me check out.
They played the crappy Saints Row, some game called Ready or Not. Across the Obelisk. Yeah, some of these videos I noticed aren't hitting that 1 million view mark. So
yeah, 700k. I mean,
yeah.
The Phasmophobia, Minecraft, the Ready or Not one did. Minecraft, Black Ops 3, Call of Duty, Mario's Party, really performed well. Fall Guys did, Across the Obelisk. Yeah, that one's the one that you're talking about. The Minecraft ones, and the Phasmophobia ones, and the Mario Party and stuff like that really do really well. I also love his new reacting, like, to terrifying or reacting series is really good. I think he made a second channel actually about that. Yeah, he made creative.
Let's see. Gaming extras.
Yeah. Apparently, he's even said in videos though that he wants to create a commentary channel at some point. And I'm like, what the hell would he talk about on that channel?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, he's butted heads. Well, not butted heads, but he's made comments about like how he hates, or not hates, but he's made jokes at the expense of like Asmongold before.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. It's like he made 7 million videos on the Amber Heard stuff, and it's like, yeah, when he was reacting to those memes and stuff like that, it was like, he even said a joke along the lines of like, yeah, and I'd really love to thank Asmongold as well for the coverage on Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah.
Which I just laugh at, and I'm just like, oh, that's funny. But yeah, I like his horror game stuff though. He does sometimes. I think he does really well solo commentary, but I think he doesn't like it because his friends aren't there. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I feel the exact same way. I can see where he comes from on that regard.
Yeah, because it's
Because
yeah,
whenever you like make a solo video, if you make a solo video and a group video and you take it to editing and you're in the process of cutting out, you can just see the complete difference in video quality. Because
yeah,
the one with friends is going to be way more high energy. There's going to be a lot more said, a lot more like content in it. But with the solo one, if you're not very good at talking, it is not going to work. If you can't hold a conversation with yourself for an hour, like, it is not going to be a good video. I think a great example I've watched recently, just because of a game I played, his name's called Jawoodle. He's like this, I think he's like this English dude who plays some like survival games, and he is able to just talk to himself for like hours on end. He's very high energy. Like, those people, they can do solo content, but monotone people who really need some interaction with others, like myself, cannot. Solo content's just really boring.
yeah. I agree. I think it's like you can tell it, like, you can bounce off people more. Do you know what I mean? If there's multiple people in the room, you can bounce off them more, and there's obviously a lot more content there said. Whereas, like, I can imagine that, like, when you're on your own, it's harder to kind of put that together. I mean, another great example is the Gaming Lemon. I don't know if you've watched his content before, but
Yeah.
he was saying that, like, for the jokes and most of the stuff that he says, it's some of for the more scripted stuff, like the GTA 5 videos that he used to do. He said, I used to have to write like lots and lots of jokes, where he says is like when he was doing videos with his friends. He said that was really easy to do, because like I could just banter off and make jokes, and there was not a lot of scripting there. But I think he's gone on to Twitch streaming now. Actually, he's not doing YouTube as much anymore, which, I mean, kind of sad about, but you know, I can see why.
Yeah.
Because like his videos were really good in terms of scripting and kind of the cinematography and everything like that.
Dude, I love doing that.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. But he was showing,
Like,
I think in one of his streams, like, I asked, like, what's your process, and like show us one of the videos that you haven't released yet. And he showed us one that he did with the friend, and he was showing us all different like all different like points of view and all the rest of it. And I could notice there was, like, as he zoomed out, there was tons of like different shots that he had to put together, and it was like that must have taken ages to get all that footage.
dude, especially with like Prop Hunt or Gary's Mod in general, that is like my favorite thing to do, the cinematography. I think you can pull up an example. I have YouTube shorts that did extremely well, where I just did like some intro for our Death Run videos. It was I first made one that was Mario based. That was my first ever Death Run, because you know the Chris Pratt announcement. I just thought of something funny using like some SpongeBob music.
Yeah.
The dun 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 dun. Like, I later found out that Vanoss used that, so I kind of felt extremely horrible because I cannot come up with anything fucking original. But
I mean, again, as you said, imitation is the best form of flattery, so.
exactly. Besides, I'm not going around just stealing things word for word. I'm just taking the foundation and building up on it with my own.
Yeah.
Like here. Yeah, go and watch that. Just I have so much fun making that.
Can you link it in chat?
Yeah. Here. You probably just have to scroll down, because I think linking shorts themselves, they glitch out. But you can just scroll down to the shorts. It's Mario and Sonic one.
Mario's done risking his life?
It was made this intro for my Gmod Death Run video. How is it? I uploaded that on a whim just because I was really proud of how I did. It got 2.5 thousand views.
Yeah.
The short system is so broken.
Oh yeah. I've seen that in Vanoss before.
Yeah, but doing that and that green screen at the end for the title card, I call it. Like, that's fun.
Yeah, it's very good. Even if it's like been stolen and done before, it's still a cool kind of intro. So
See, that wasn't even intentional. I think my roommate like said that he heard it from a Vanoss video somewhere, and I was really confused because I had never. And then he pulled up, I think it was their SpongeBob death run from like the early Gmod days, where they didn't even have like a counter in the corner.
yeah.
Yeah, apparently that was from that.
Then again, they've literally done pretty much every joke ever. They've done every single skit, so I wouldn't be too bad. I wouldn't feel too bad about that. It's like they've literally done everything.
I will say, the Sonic one that I uploaded, I rushed to get that out because I had a gut feeling that Vanoss was going to do it, so I just went, like, literally gotta go fast. I made a death run video with friends, tried to make my own original skit based off the Sonic trailer. Like the original Sonic trailer.
That one got like 252 views. That's a good video.
Now this one, the Sonic intro short that I have is 1.1 thousand views, my second most successful short.
Oh yeah, I saw this on Twitter, I think, when it came out.
Yeah, I literally watched the original Sonic trailer, and I tried to get shots like par to par. 1-to-1 recreation, just in a really crappy way.
It was really well done.
Because if you put it side by side the trailer, you can see what I did with it.
Yeah, it's so good. Who is Ted? Who is Ted, by the way? In the Humanity video.
Oh, it's one of my Irish friend. His name is just Ted, so he doesn't have like a channel yet, but he wants to, so I just made him as like Ted, like the bear.
That's kind of cool. I'm just looking through videos now. Yeah, they're really well done. I can see where you got your inspiration from, to be honest. It's very good.
It's very clear.
Yeah.
Very obvious.
It's kind of there's more need for that, especially like now where there's, do you know what I mean? There's no competition to Vanoss or the Vanoss crew or anything like that. So, I mean, you're filling that gap in the market, I guess.
Yeah, I did notice there wasn't very many channels like that except for him being the big one. And besides, I just liked that style. So I've always wanted to do YouTube in his style because I've always had like funny moments with friends. I've wanted to do it for so many years. So I'm just glad I'm getting the chance to actually do it, and people are liking it. I get called Vanoss clone sometimes, but you know what? I don't care. It is fun to make videos. It's
like the stuff with the Leafy back in the day, like when he did that and pioneered it, and then a load of channels hopped on the hype train to kind of.
Oh my god!
They got told they were like Leafy clones, and then eventually when there was so many that were different variety and personality, do you know what I mean? It's like it's people stop just using that, and people that do use that now get laughed at and go, "Bro, what are you on about?"
Exactly. Like in the end, at some point, everything in a certain genre is gonna get done. So all that you can do is just make it your own.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be someone who did a Gary's Mod video. There's always going to be someone who's made Minecraft Let's Plays. Like, there's no getting around that unoriginality, but you can at least make it your own. Put in your little spin with it. Do your own jokes. Your own cinematography, your own skits, that sort of thing.
Yeah. It comes out really well as well. I really like the thumbnails and the videos as well. They're really funny.
Yeah, I've managed to actually make somewhat of a unique brand for myself. That was my main goal.
Yeah, I think even like I'm scrolling back a bit, you even tried to capture like the rainbow effect, and then I think you got more into the orange background as well as a brand, which is good.
Yeah, because I only put the rainbow background there because I was trying to like get a background from the game, but it just did not look well, and I already had that. Because I was, testing out thumbnails with it.
Yeah.
And I figured I'd just throw it in, but I wanted to develop my own, so that's why I switched to the orange. sort of, background. I think when I first did it though, someone had told me that it reminded them of Mini Lad.
Yeah,
And that
I was gonna say it kind of captured that Mini Lad brand.
that really hit my ego hard, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let someone ruin that for me. I want to make this my own.
Yeah, because he's quit now as well. He's like a commentary channel or whatever. So I mean, there's the gap in the market of those old videos. I mean, even to his old videos before he was obviously a nonce, his old videos were really well done. Like his and Vanoss's and Terrorizers were some of my favorites. So do you know what I mean? Like I guess you're kind of filling in that gap that he left, because with these thumbnails as well, like they're very well done. Like the orange as well is kind of nostalgic to that era of Mini Lad. So I mean, despite his actions recently, I mean, you should be flattered by the fact that like. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not gonna let that stuff that happened kind of taint, that old style. Yeah. Because I mean, it wasn't even intentional. But once I saw it, I just, I didn't care. I'm making it my own. Not gonna let anything from the past stop me.
I mean, it works with your brand as well, because it's CheetoHead, so obviously it's like a little orange like Cheeto ball, and then obviously orange background. It works.
Yeah, and funny thing is, my friends from Basement Gang were all pretty much different colors of the rainbow. If you look, like Monkey's red, Zeb is yellow, I'm orange, Lee is green, Silver Fox has like a aqua kind of color to her, Goldie is a blue, and then Random's like a purple. And with my kind of like darker orange background, they kind of bounce off of it. Yeah. So it pops.
As well, like you blend into the background to kind of as well like have it so it's your own unique. So like it's your own video, so people can distinguish like each character from each other and everything else. So I mean, it works.
Yeah, really just depending on what happened in it. So some of them do end up a bit empty, but I try to fill it in with like important like stuff from the video.
Yeah, I mean, it works. But I definitely do more short content as well, because like some of those, like as you can see, like what 1,000, 2,000.
But yeah, shorts content definitely like the future. I do think it kind of ruins regular content in a way, though.
Yeah, it kind of does, but then it kind of links back to kind of TikTok and everything else. And I think if people discover more of your stuff, do you know what I mean, in terms of like the algorithm and stuff, then they can subscribe to your channel. And then like that's what I do when I watch like shorts content. I find people are genuinely funny. And then I'm like, oh my god, I need to be subscribed to this guy to see more. I click subscribe, and then I realize, oh wait, they do actually make full-length videos. Alright, I'm going to watch them. And then that's how I get introduced to them. I mean, it's crazy that we live in that world where, do you know what I mean, like shorts, you find someone just through shorts now, not videos. But
yeah.
It is.
Yeah, because
for growth.
It's really great for exposure. Hell, I have TikTok saved in as exposure land, as a bookmark, because that's literally all I do. I just upload a small clip from my video that I think is really funny. I'll upload it, put it in my little format, and just let it get some traction. And then if people are interested, they click my profile. I have my YouTube channel linked, and they just come and watch that. And I've had some great success from it. I think in the beginning, I had made a short based on my first Gary's Mod video, and that gained me like 50 subscribers.
Yeah.
Like, it was nuts. My first few shorts did amazing in terms of exposure.
Yeah, 50, 1.2k, 1k. So then I think people like, you should definitely keep up with that with the shorts, because even like snippets of videos from funny moments, people can click on it and go, oh wow, this is a really good, like, this is really funny, I'm going to subscribe.
Yeah. But I do say they do harm, like, regular content, because it's mainly just an ingrained thing. You don't really think about it too much, but people's attention spans are far worse than what they used to be. Because I was playing with one of my YouTube friends, and we hadn't talked in like a while, and he saw my video, and he was just joking around, wanted to give it like a critique. Watched it. It was my golf video, and he said it was great, but because of how like calm it was, it's not gonna get like people are gonna click off because so many people are used to TikTok content where it's just constant dopamine and very short. So it's very snappy, and if you try to do longer length videos, it's going to suffer more because now more and more people don't really have the attention span for long videos, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
it's
action every second, do you know what I mean? Every second counts.
It's two sides of the same coin. It's beneficial for exposure, but it's definitely going to hurt the slower paced videos.
Especially when you take longer gaps as well, like in terms of animation, because like I see the odd ones out now and like a bunch of different ones do animated shorts more, and I was wondering like why. And then he did like one of his videos where it was like about a behind the scenes video, and he was saying that these videos take like a month, 2 months, 3 months, and like it took longer for them to do, whereas shorts take like only like a couple weeks to do because they have to do the backgrounds and then animation and stuff like that. So then I understood.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I was like, so then because you take so long to create them, people aren't going to be there. Do you know what I mean? Whereas shorts, people are there because they're just scrolling through.
Yeah, those animation channels, man. Whew.
Yeah.
Mad respect to anyone who actually does that. I think one off the top of my head that I can list, if I can find him here, Slippy Boy.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
No, I don't know. Sorry.
He is up and coming right now. Hell, he's at 569 subs. I met him through Sauce and the Beak and all them. But he does like this 8-bit animation style, and it is amazing. You can just tell there's a lot of passion put into it, but there are like long gaps in between it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, mad respect to anyone who can actually make content out of that consistently.
Yeah, it's really stressful as well, because I remember like back in the early days, even when PewDiePie was up and coming, the algorithm changed so that if you have long gaps in uploads, you aren't going to get the initial exposure and you're not going to get paid as much. The CPM will slowly start to decrease, and then long form content came back, and then it was like, oh my god, that's good. And then now they're screwed again because it's like you need shorts, you need like small videos pumped out daily almost. And it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like that. It just doesn't help because animation takes time. I think we're gonna leave it here if that's okay.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Alright. Thank you so much for watching the first episode. Thank you to CheetoHead for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Is there anything you want to say before we end?
I just want to say, subscribe to this podcast, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And don't forget to subscribe to CheetoHead. This has been a really good episode. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely subscribe for more episodes like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.